Good morning, everybody. Today we are out in the Stansbury Mountains and we are going to hike up to Deseret Peak. Deseret Peak is an 11,000 foot peak. It is the highest point in this mountain range, and this is going to be a really nice hike. We've got a beautiful day out. It's nice and sunny. We should have a really good hike up there. This mountain range lies to the west of Tooele Valley, and it is mostly a wilderness area up in the high country. There's a lot of streams up here. It's pretty lush and green, and it's a pretty nice place to hike. So we're going to get started. So this trailhead can be found up at the top of South Willow Canyon, and it's a pretty well-marked, easy to get to trailhead. And there are, I think, at least 4 different campgrounds up here, including the South Willow Canyon Loop campground, which is also the parking lot for the trailhead here. But it's a real nice place, even if you just want to go someplace to camp, go on a little day hike, and you're not necessarily looking to climb up to Deseret Peak. There are several other trails that run along in this basin, and there are a couple of lakes over to the other side that you can hike up to, but it's a real nice spot. I think today's hike is going to be almost 10 miles round trip. It's like 4.8 or something to the peak, and of course coming back. We're going to be at this most of the day today. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of water in it right now. This is late September, so this is kind of the driest time of the year, and we've experienced a pretty dry summer here in northern Utah, so that's why these streams are running so low. But it's a good place to water the dogs. You want to do that because past this, there's not going to be any water up there. So here is the sign at the trail junction. This goes to Deseret Peak. That's the way we're going to go today. Over here, this goes up to South Willow Lake, and of course that takes us back to the campground and the trailhead where we started. Make sure you get over to here. This hike up towards South Willow Lake will get you up into the cirque below Deseret Peak. It's a really nice area to go into, particularly in the summertime. There's a lot of wildflowers up in that basin, and the trail will snake along the mountain for a while. It's pretty open. The section we're going to be taking today is pretty forested, but the trail to South Willow Lake is highly scenic. Lots of really good views looking to the east and the northeast. You'll be able to see Tooele Valley, the Great Salt Lake, a lot of those kind of things. But we're going to take this trail up to Deseret Peak. I'm just going to pan this around for a minute here. We got to this nice clearing, and you can really see more of this basin that we're hiking up. It's a gorgeous day. Got some nice aspens up here turning yellow. Now the trail I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you can pretty much see where it snakes along right below those yellow aspens over to this ridge. Keeps working its way over that way. But it's highly scenic. If you ever decide to just come up here and hike, you want to just hike up into this basin and take a look at it, that's a great place to go. But we're going to continue on this trail to get up to the ridgeline and onto the peak. As we climb higher and higher on this trail, we start to see more of these meadows open up before us. Now, these are really nice in the middle of July. That's wildflower season up here. And it can be absolutely beautiful. But with this being late September, the wildflowers are past their prime. Instead we have leaves turning yellow. So it's kind of behind those pine trees over there, but that is the ridgeline or the pass that we are heading to. We're going to probably be up there in about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So as we get closer to the pass, there's a lot of switchbacks, which breaks up the monotony. This trail can be pretty steep. But it is an absolutely gorgeous day out here. Perfect day for hiking. Love the fall weather. It was kind of cool this morning. Hopefully you can see this. That is the Great Salt Lake out there. And we're looking down South Willow Canyon. I can see it looks like the tip of Antelope Island. And then some of the mountains, probably up above the Farmington, Ogden area. But we got some real nice views, and they'll just get better once we get higher up. It's a really nice meadow right here. You can probably find some good camping spots. If you were to hike up here in the evening, camp out here, head up to the peak, this would be a good spot. We are getting close to the pass, but I figured I would turn around and show you guys this view. This is looking down South Willow Canyon. You can see the northern end of the Stansburys and Stansbury Island, in addition to Antelope Island and the quite receded Great Salt Lake. Most of that white out there used to be at the bottom, but these days the lake has shrunk quite a bit. So right up there is the pass. That is where we're heading. So we're pretty close at this point. But it's steep. I can definitely feel the elevation. So we made it to the pass. That last part was a bit steep, but the view has really opened up. We're gonna hike a little over here along this trail, take a break for a bit, get some water, and enjoy the view. Right up there, that is Deseret Peak, so that's where we're heading. But I thought I would show you this view. This basin is just gorgeous. Those are the two other prominent peaks out here. And that lower section is the north end of the range, and of course everything we could see before, like the Great Salt Lake. Over in that direction I can actually see Mount Olympus, Mount Raymond, Gobbler's Knob, Lone Peak, Box Elder Peak, Dromedary, a bunch of those peaks up in the Wasatch Mountains. And to the south, this big mountain over here I think is called Vickery Mountain. But we're going to head back around and get to the trail. There's a junction up here. This trail here goes along over here and drops into another canyon on the other side. But I forget what the name of the canyon is. There's a trail sign up here at the junction. But we're going to go to the peak. So we're going to head back over here and get on the right trail. Oh, we just ran into 4 other hikers, and they had 2 dogs with them. So Doug and Raven were pretty happy to see some furry buddies out here. Looks like we have some more hikers coming down. But this is about to get steep again. We got to head up along this face up to that ridge, and then it hooks around and starts the ascent up to the peak. And this whole area, of course, is pretty open. No trees, just big open meadows. Yep, more switchbacks. This one's just going to go right up there, and that's when we'll start cutting across. We still have more elevation gain, but it won't quite be a bunch of steep switchbacks like this. I'm just going to pan this around again. It is just gorgeous. So this is looking to the southwest. We can see parts of the Bonneville Salt Flats and the southern part of the Cedar Range. The big mountains you can see way out there are the Deep Creeks. And I actually had planned to get out there this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. That might have to be a hike for next summer. But to the south, you can see the Simpson Mountains, and then there are the Sheeprock Mountains. That's where the old Pony Express Trail runs across this section of Utah. Well, we still got a little ways to go. That's our destination up past Raven there. Yeah, this will be the highest peak I've been on this summer. And I definitely can feel the elevation. All right, here we are. Deseret Peak. Yeah, I gotta be honest, this hike kind of kicked my ass. That was pretty steep getting up here. So we are going to kick back up here for a little while and enjoy the view, because it is extensive. Absolutely beautiful up here. So we've been kicking back up here for probably about an hour. Yeah, there were several other hikers up here. Some of them had dogs with them. Made Doug and Raven pretty happy, but been kicking back having a conversation about hiking here in Utah. But this is a fantastic hike. This is Deseret Peak. It's I think 11,040 feet above sea level. According to the All Trails app, this was 4.6 miles to get up here. That was from the South Willow Canyon campground. And it looks like we had an elevation gain of around 3,589 feet. And we started about 10 this morning. It's around 3. Been sitting around up here for about an hour. Took a long break down there earlier in the day, about 12:30. But we're going to probably get ready to head back down. We got a little ways to go. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this hike. You really should come and check this out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos about hiking and camping out here on America's public lands, consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. And we will see you guys next week.